Would you please stand and join me for a salute to our flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'm Larry Hedkins, currently serving as chair of the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners. Joining me this morning is Vice Chair Brent Smoyer, Deb Shore, Jane Raybolt, and Roma Amundson. Assisting us this morning from the County Attorney's Office is Brittany Behrens, and Angela Zokol will be our recording clerk, and we'll begin the agenda this morning with Dan Nolde, our county clerk.
Copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk's staff. The material can also be on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approval of the minutes. The Board of Commissioners meeting held on Tuesday, September 16th, 2014.
Move approval.
Second.
Are there additions or corrections? If not, will you call the roll, please?
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Abstain.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 4 yes, 1 abstention. Next are claims. Approval of all claims processed for Tuesday, September 23rd, 2014.
Move approval of the claims. Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 3 is a special presentation. Recognition of the Impact Organization and their notable Nebraskans, dead or alive, famous or obscure art exhibit at the County City Building. Liz Shea McCoy, exhibit coordinator.
Liz, would you like to come up and tell us a little bit about this?
Well, as the exhibition coordinator, this is the third year for what I feel is the best kept secret in Lincoln, Nebraska for a gallery space. It's an incredible space, tons of traffic. Artists get a 3-month exhibition period plus 100% of anything that they should make if they sell their art. So this exhibit is particularly, I think, interesting for this space as far as notable Nebraskans. It's actually dead or alive, but the impact artists, which represent nationally known Nebraska artists from across the state, could select somebody that a historical figure or somebody in their lives that they felt was worthy of a piece of art. So I'm going to have Jeannie hold up a couple of the pieces. For example, this is the vice grip, which was created, the inventor was William Peterson. So he focused, obviously the focal point is the vice grip, but underneath are various poses of the inventor in various situations throughout, interests that were in his life too. So I felt that was very interesting. Another interesting piece of art, and I just took these off the wall randomly. I have to say that for the artists who may be watching. This piece represents Lawrence Bruner, who is the father of Nebraska entomology, and it's the locust. So I thought that was a really interesting way to convey her appreciation of a notable Nebraskan. So when we go through the exhibition, there's Thomas Kimball, an architect, Antoine and Joseph Robidoux, traders of the Oregon Trail, Nebraska writers Nellie Snyder-Yost, Marie Sandoz, Wright Morris, Willa Cather, Robert Henry, and personal choices such as husbands who inspire the artist or hung in there with them. I can say that from personal
experience.
A long ago kindergarten teacher, a Sunday school teacher whose influence lasted through the years. So I think under each of those pictures, there's an inspiration statement, which talks about.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
No problem. Which talks about why the artists selected the person or how they represented that person. For instance, like the locust, I think people go, what's the deal with that? But then underneath is the inspiration statement. There's 2D and 3D pieces of art in this exhibition. So I think it's, once again, that's very enticing to artists that can put in 3D work as well. And we're looking forward to getting some new lighting in that space, which will make that even better, because the lighting during the day is exceptional, but there's so many things at night that are going on, so that's happening too. So anyway, that's where we are now. The exhibition, Nebraskans Dead or Alive, will be up through November, and then we'll have another artist come on board first Friday in December.
Jane?
Well, you know, it is one of the best kept secrets. It's a wonderful display of Nebraska talent. And I have to be honest, one of the best jobs as a county commissioner is being on the jury to actually view all the different art forms and the different mediums that our creative, talented Nebraskans choose. It's phenomenal. And it is so difficult to pick out the 4 artists for that year. And this is why I love this exhibit, because there's so many different artists with so many different creative ways of expressing that individual, dead or alive, that made a difference to them. And it was a wonderful opportunity to showcase more artists. And it's a great exhibit, so people should come down to the City County building and see all the magnificent artists that we have. I'm just always impressed and blown away by the talent we have in Nebraska.
I'm right there with you. I think this is a best kept secret. I think Nebraska is a best kept secret as far as all the talent we have here. And why go outside of Nebraska when we've got this treasure right here?
Yeah.
So I'll continue to advocate for Nebraska and this space and the arts. So, anyway.
Well, Liz, you're a wonderful advocate. She just kept at it for probably 6 months at the Public Building Commission. She says, we got to find a
Longer than
place.
that.
Maybe it was a year, I don't know. She was a regular fixture at the meetings, and she just said, we just got to find a place for this. And we started out in the Hall of Justice building and ended up here. And, you know, I think it was meant to be. This is a much better venue. A lot more people get to see it. I particularly have an attachment to the vice grip painting because every one of my tractors has one in there, and our daughter was the industrial engineer for him for a number of years. So the Peterson story is really something. Here's this immigrant Danish fellow with just a grade school education, and he invented the vice grip wrench, and there's no better one made today. Unfortunately, they're made in China now instead of DeWitt, Nebraska. But wonderful invention.
Interesting how art can inspire you in the right ways to touch your heart. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Under new business, 4A is a recommendation from purchasing and a county engineer to issue a purchase order to NMC Inc. for one vibratory dual drum roller at a total cost of $28,995.
I think our county engineer, Pam Dingman's going to visit with us a little bit about this. We visited on the phone this morning, and she's got some pretty good reasons why we need this.
Good morning, Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. Our current piece of equipment that does this type of work is from the 80s. It no longer meets safety requirements, and we are having trouble keeping it running. So with that in mind, we did look at the options for how much we are using this piece of equipment, and I did feel that this is a piece of equipment for rolling asphalt that we really do need to have in our shop versus renting this piece of equipment. In addition, you may note that we did recommend going with the second low bidder as the responsive bidder in order to keep this equipment maintenance and any parts we may need in Lincoln and Lancaster County versus having to go to Omaha for maintenance and parts.
And I believe the difference was only a couple $100, so one trip to Omaha would eat that up.
About $215.
Okay. Thank you for that explanation. Any further questions?
Move approval.
Second.
Further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. B is a contract with Floors, Inc. for the annual requirements of carpet maintenance services at the Lancaster County Adult Detention Facility on an as-needed basis. Term of the agreement is 3 years from the date of execution.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. C is a contract with GBS Corporation for the annual requirements of file folders. Term of the agreement is 4 years from the date of execution.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4D is amendment to County Contract C 1333 with National Paper Company, Inc. for the annual supply and delivery of washing and laundry chemicals. The amendment renews the agreement for an additional 1-year term from August 1st, 2014 to July 31st, 2015, and provides for a 1.5% increase for the items listed in Attachment A.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. E is an amendment to County Contract C 13530 with Executive Janitorial Corporation for cleaning services at the Cherry Creek Road facilities. The amendment renews the agreement for an additional 1-year term from October 21st, 2014 to October 20th, 2015, and provides for a price increase per Attachment A.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. F is a 2014 subrecipient agreement for the 2014 Emergency Management Performance Grant from the Nebraska Emergency Management Agency. Term of the agreement is July 1st, 2014 to June 30th, 2015.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Anything that you wanted us to say about it?
No, sir, just making myself available if you have any questions.
Thank you, David. Call the roll, please.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. G is a grant contract with Voices of Hope to provide funding in the amount of $5,000 for the Crisis Intervention and Advocacy Program. Term of the grant contract is July 1st, 2014 to June 30th, 2015.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4H is a grant contract with the Hub, Inc. to provide funding in the amount of $10,000 for the Youth and Community Together program. Term of the grant contract is July 1st, 2014 to June 30th, 2015.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. I is a grant contract with the United Way of Lincoln and Lancaster County to provide funding in the amount of $5,000 for the Grants Management Software Program and $1,250 for the Food Distribution Services Point Project. Term of the contract is July 1st, 2014 to June 30th, 2015.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Amundson, Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4J is an agreement with Great Plains Appraisal, Inc. for the services of qualified professional appraisers to assist the Lancaster County Assessor's Office in performing the appraisal functions necessary to process the Tax Equalization and Review Commission appeals for the 2014 tax year. The contract also authorizes Great Plains Appraisal to process the Turk appeals for the 2013 tax year and any other Turk cases between 2003 and 2013 tax years that have not yet been completed. The total compensation for services will not exceed $200,000.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Hudgens.
Yes.
Carries 5-0. K is an agreement between Lancaster County on behalf of the Lancaster County Election Commissioner and Steve McClatchy for the delivery of voting machines and other miscellaneous equipment to several polling locations for the general election to be held on Tuesday, November 4th, 2014. The county will pay $53 per polling location for the delivery service.
Move approval?
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Hudgens.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. L is an agreement with Joyce Schmeckel, PhD, doing business as Schmeckel Research for program evaluation services for the Adult Recidivism Reduction Project. The county will pay up to $7,500 for the services rendered. Term of the agreement is June 1st, 2014 to February 28th, 2016.
Move approval.
Second.
Larry?
Yes.
I just want to remind the commissioners that this, the funding for the evaluation comes from the Keno Prevention Fund. We are going to be evaluating various programs offered at the adult facility to monitor their effectiveness in reducing the recidivism rate.
Any further comments? Call the roll, please.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Hudgens.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. M is a rental and catering agreement with Pinnacle Bank Arena for the Tri-County meeting on October 23rd, 2014.
Move approval.
Second?
And I would say that we had a, Carrie, did you want to, or I'll explain it? Conversation with Tom Lorenz yesterday, and due to the contribution that we made to Pinnacle Arena, they have waived the rental. We'll still have to pay for the catering, but rental has been waived for the use of the room for the Tri-County meeting. So we thank Mr. Lorenz and Pinnacle for that.
So I do have a question. This was for the rental and catering agreement. Do we need to drop off the rental? or-
Rental, but the catering still we're going to have to pay.
So do we need to amend that?
Get some direction here from the county
Yeah.
attorney's office.
Brittany Barron's Deputy Lancaster County Attorney. You can just approve it with the understanding that the $250 rental fee won't be paid by the county.
Okay.
Thank you for that clarification. Any further discussion? Would you call the roll, please?
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Hudgens.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. N is an agreement between Lancaster County and the City of Lincoln for animal control services in Lancaster County in the event of an emergency.
Judy
Yes,
Halstead.
Judy.
Hi. Sorry, Larry, I jumped over you. Judy Halstead, Lincoln Lancaster County Health Department. Briefly, just to be in the record that the reason this agreement's coming forward is the event of an emergency. It'll facilitate our reimbursement both from the Nebraska Emergency Management if there's a state disaster, or FEMA if there's a federal disaster declared. We would assist the county, but just to remind everybody that the reason that we're coming forward with this agreement is because the county does not pay currently for animal control services. Animal control for the city does not have jurisdiction in either the 3 Mile or in the county. And so what we're asking for is to facilitate this agreement so that in the event of an emergency, we would have actually something documented that we have an agreement between the city and the county for that emergency. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. We were at staff meetings, so I think we were able to answer those, but just wanted to be here in case there were any others.
It's just good business to have it down in writing so we know where everybody stands, but we've always appreciated the assistance from the Lincoln Lancaster County Health Department.
Thank you.
Helen was a prime example of that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
I don't have a motion yet.
Move approval.
Second?
I got ahead of myself. I have it marked down as a motion here already.
Okay.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Hudgens.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. O is an agreement with Kenneth and Joanne Mueller regarding final plat 14004 Mueller Addition on property generally located at South 72nd Street and Roca Road.
Move approval.
Second?
Our county engineer has a comment you'd like to make on this? Because I don't think she has anything about the crisis center coming up on the next item.
Well, it's a good thing I don't have anything about the crisis center this morning. Pam Damon, Lancaster County Engineer. I did want to talk to you a little bit about this particular final plat. Ms. Behrens and I did meet with the engineer and the property owners last week to discuss substandard construction on a number of issues, the pavement as well as the installation of pipes that don't meet the minimum diameter by the county. We did come up with an agreement. We have put a little bit, there's language in this subdivision agreement that is not the standard language. The developer has agreed to an 8-year warranty or 70% occupation, occupation, that's good, or 70% occupancy of the subdivision prior to the county taking over maintenance. And I just wanted to be clear, our typical warranty that we ask for is 3 years. With the 70% occupancy.
Okay. So you're satisfied with the agreement?
That is the agreement that we came up with. I believe it meets the requirements of both sides. They will be required to bring anything that is substandard at that 8-year mark up to county standards before we would accept it for maintenance.
You say they, you mean the developer is responsible for bringing the drives or the culverts or up to our standards?
In this particular case with the culvert that should have been a 24-inch being installed as an 18-inch, we verified that it met capacity because it has pavement over it. We didn't have him cut out the pavement, dig up the pipe, and replace the pipe. But had that pipe not met design capacity standards, that's the direction that we would have went in. We did compromise on the diameter of the one pipe. But in particular with this subdivision, we are extraordinarily concerned about the quality of the pavement and that there's many parameters, standard parameters that were not met with the installation.
Thank you for bringing those factors to our attention. Okay.
With
Any
the,
further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Shore,
yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer, Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4P is a systematic alien verification for entitlement program termination certification statement for the Lancaster County Community Mental Health Center.
Move approval. Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Q is optimum recredentialing and certification documentation for the Lancaster County Crisis Center.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. R is an insurance renewal for Lancaster County Crisis Center.
I think we need to hold this, don't we?
This item was placed on the agenda at the request of the board last Thursday. You guys had asked Sue Eckley to come back and provide you with additional information as it related to the insurance renewal at the crisis center. So I'm not sure. Without that information, there's nothing for you to act on.
Right.
You just needed to discuss this on a Tuesday because you needed to take action prior to September 30th.
So
So this
could-
was the last meeting that you guys would have the opportunity to do so.
So is Sue available can someone contact Sue? And can we just keep going through the agenda and when she comes in?
I think
Yeah.
Corey's going to make that call now, so it's
Okay.
okay with consensus of the board that we hold this item
Works for
and
me.
give her a chance to respond.
Okay.
Let's move on to the next item, the consent items then.
Consent items, a leasehold contract between the county engineer and Douglas Johnick, South 176th Street and Pioneer Boulevard for $10. Right-of-way contracts between the county engineer and the following: Gregory and Celeste Hall, Northwest 98th Street and West Rock Creek Road as a donation. Eugene Bowler, Southwest 84th Street and West Yankee Hill Road for $1,036.50. Rodney and Judith Vincent, South 176th Street and Pine Lake Road as a donation. David and Colleen Nielsen, South 190th Street and Pioneer Boulevard for $678. Ivan and Beverly Nisley, trustees, Highway 43 and Apple Street for $24. Landmark Investments, Southwest 2nd Street and Bennett Road for $354. Mildred Schuster, trustee, South 134th Street and Firth Road for $217. Mildred Schuster, trustee, South 134th Street and Firth Road for $121. Obink Farms, South 134th Street and Firth Road as a donation. Receive and place on file the August 2014 report for the county sheriff. Setting of a public hearing on September 30th, 2014 at 10:30 a.m.
Move approval of the consent.
No.
Wait,
There's one more.
one more.
Okay. I'm sorry. Setting of a public hearing on September 30, 2014 at 10:30 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building regarding setting of the final tax rate at a different amount than the prior tax year. Request for Lancaster County and the Rural Library for Lancaster County. Setting of a public hearing on October 7, 2014 at 10:30 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building regarding the amendment of the Lancaster County General Assistance Guidelines.
Move approval of consent items.
Second.
And I would like to thank Gregory and Celeste Hall for their donation of right-of-way, Rodney and Judith Benson, and Obick Farms. Donation of this right-of-way expedites our road construction and saves us a great deal of time and money, so thanks to those people. Call the roll, please.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is number 6, public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to county business not on the agenda may do so at this time.
Sir, do you wish to address the county board? If you'd come up and take the microphone and sign in, please.
Your clipboard sheet's going to be a little bit sparse today. I'm the first one.
And as you begin, if you'd state your name for the record, we'd appreciate it, please.
Chair Hudkins, members of the county board, for the record, my name is Gary Aldridge, ALDRIDGE, 7112 South 45, Lincoln, Lancaster County, Nebraska, 68516, United States of America, planet Earth. I'm one of the owners. I think that is an important reminder of why I come. I was in this building, in this room, just 2 weeks ago on 9 September. I came at the invitation of Mr. Feigard and or Mr. Christensen. I was here for a notice of public meeting and notice of budget hearing for the Railroad Transportation Safety District in Lancaster County, Nebraska. Both notice of public meeting and notice of budget hearing were published, as required by law, in the Lincoln Journal-Star. The RTSD is a hybrid political subdivision. Perhaps joint public agency is the correct descriptor for the governance of the RTSD. The RTSD is created by statute 74 Nebraska Revised Statute 1301 et sec to do certain things. I say here now, I have no major quarrel with the declared policy of this state with respect to the policy, procedures, and or protocols of the RTSD in Lancaster County, Nebraska. Every political subdivision taxing authority by law, with certain exceptions, see the Nebraska Budget Act, must, quote, make available pertinent information of such governing bodies so intelligent and informed support, opposition, criticism, suggestions, or observations can be made by those affected, end quote. The Nebraska Budget Act does not proscribe or prescribe what support, opposition, criticism, suggestions, or observations a citizen can offer, only that those affected are allowed support, opposition, criticism, suggestions, or observations. When I attended that RTSD meeting, I did speak. Perhaps some who were at that RTSD meeting were offended or insulted by my comments. Perhaps some who were at that RTSD meeting understood or misunderstood my comments as a personal disparagement. Any support, opposition, criticism, suggestions, or observations are never offered to humiliate. I offer support, opposition, criticism, suggestions, or observations primarily to question what is taken for granted. For that reason alone, I neither change, amend, revise, retract, or apologize for my comments. A public or elected official who is easily offended by support, opposition, criticism, suggestions, or observations, a person so offended is called thin-skinned by some. Perhaps that person should look for a new line of work. Most board, body, or commission members, individually or collectively, know what I mean. Thank you.
Thank you, and we appreciate your comments, and we appreciate your actions as a citizen to speak up on things, and we'll always try to receive criticism with an open mind.
Gary brought forth two very helpful suggestions, the RTSD. One was that we operate under the Open Meetings Act, but that was not noted on the agenda, and so we will add that. And also, we use the term non-agenda items when we offer the opportunity for public comment at the end of the meeting, and we will more clearly note on the agenda as well that it is the term public hearing as opposed to non-agenda items, which had been used historically.
Okay, thank you, Chairman Shar, for those comments. Are there others which wish to make public comment? If not, Mr. Clerk, will you proceed with announcements?
The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will not hold a staff meeting on Thursday, September 25th, 2014. Due to the board's attendance at the Southeast NACO Conference in Ashland, Nebraska, the next staff meeting is tentatively scheduled for Thursday, October 2nd, 2014 at 8:30 a.m. in the Bill Oxford studio of the County City Building. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold their next regular meeting on Tuesday, September 30th, 2014 at 10:30 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building, with the Board of Equalization immediately following. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live. It is rebroadcast on Tuesday and Saturday on 5 City TV, Cable Channel 5. In addition, the meeting may be viewed on the internet at lancaster.ne.gov under 5 City TV, Video on Demand, or 5 City TV on YouTube.
Mr. Clerk, I think we'll
Perfect
return
timing.
back to item R. Sue has just arrived. And we have Tom. We have the
Dream team.
Yes. Sue and Tom, if you'd come up to the podium, we have the insurance renewal for Lancaster County Crisis Center before us. Commissioner Raybold has some questions.
Good morning. Good morning. And I think you were going to get back to us with, after you had made some inquiries on potential additional
Carriers.
bid or...
Correct, on
Correct.
deductibles.
Yes.
For the Scottsdale policy. Well, Tom, do you want to go ahead and
You
answer
bet.
that?
Yeah, absolutely. That was on the Scottsdale quote, and they do not do deductibles. They will not do deductibles on professional liability, so that isn't an option. Their reasoning for doing that is that there is either going to be a no losses or there's going to be a really, really big one, and so that was kind of their theory behind that. But they do not offer deductibles on the professional side as a company. So.
And part of the reason of that is, too, when a company offers deductibles, that kind of turns that piece of that control over to us. And some companies say we want to control it from $1, so we don't offer deductibles, so that in the event there's a loss, we can control that. We can come in and suggest defense counsels or whatever, and so that's the reason for that, why they do not offer deductibles, which doesn't make sense. Normally, we all are familiar with deductibles on policies. I did speak with Dennis Meyer about what we would need to set up for a self-insurance fund to cover that deductible amount. And Dennis said, yes, we will want to set up something to where the crisis center would pay into a deductible fund if we go that route, so that in the event there's a loss, there would be that money's available there to pay that deductible amount. We wouldn't be just trying to come up with a $5,000 or $10,000 amount. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to hop in here and say, I still recommend the Scottsdale policy for a couple of reasons, and that is that they do offer up to the $5 million limit on their policy. They were the only ones. The others were up to the $3 million limit. And again, no deductible, which is a good thing because we will have to fund for that anyway. So we would have to come up with that funding level for that. I still am recommending Scottsdale. You can look at the numbers. I don't know if you have those in front of you.
We don't have them in front of us,
There's
but
nothing on the agenda,
Oh,
so
I'm
if
sorry.
you have something on the Elmo, that would really be helpful. for us.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, there we go. It's really hard to as you will see, the Landmark American premium. And Landmark, yeah, we'll do, I wonder if we can do both here and get them. Let's just do this. And
There was quite a difference.
I can't.
Because it's, I think that's okay. The Landmark American premium is the $25,000, and we can reject the terrorism coverage, which takes away the $250,000. The surplus lines tax we already talked to you about. That's not an option of that going away, so we would have that. And they are the $1 million, $3 million limit with a $5,000 deductible, which we would have to internally fund. On the Evanston policy, I don't recommend Evanston because premium-wise, and then if we wanted to get up to that 5 million, we would have to purchase that additional coverage. So you will see in columns 2 and 3, the Evanston, that would be that premium, and then taking us up to the $5 million. Again, the Scottsdale premium. Yeah, there we go. That's 29,225. You can see the totals at the bottom there. Sure. So that gives you an idea.
and then that Scottsdale, in order to get to the 5 million, it would be 34,000.
Got it,
Correct.
34,919.
That is correct.
Now, did you? And they also offered a 1 million and 3 million as well, and that was the 27,000. Correct?
Yes,
That
with
is-
surplus
yes.
lines tax and everything, 29,295.
That is correct.
That's right.
That's correct. Now, this is the first year we're insuring Crisis Center as a standalone.
Separate entity.
So, you know, we don't have any, well, let me say this. We don't have a carve-out loss experience for the Crisis Center to show any of these folks. You know, they were all part and parcel of the Community Mental Health Center. So you're seeing these premiums for the first time. Next year, what will they do? I can't tell you. You know, it's a crystal
Nobody
ball
can.
to try to figure that one out.
It's our
So.
last day to take action. Okay.
So whatever the board's wishes are.
And this is our last day to take action because, as Brittany said, it has to be done by the 30th.
Correct. This coverage will expire September 30th at 12.
If
well,
that's the case, then I'd
11:59.
amend my motion to approve the landmark policy.
I'd like to second that.
And you point out that, you know, we will have to make provisions, but even with that, it's very economical, and
That's our
we'll
best bet.
assume a little bit more liability, but we think we have the house pretty well in order, and Scott's doing a good job, and I think that's the consensus of the board. Is
And
there
I'll
any-
work with Dennis on that. We really hadn't talked about funding level. I mean, you know, I would think 1,000, 2,000 per year until we get that fund built up.
Sure.
Well,
Like 10. I mean, that would cover, you know, 2 claims with 2 deductibles.
okay. Any further discussion?
And just, because I'm still having trouble seeing it, the Scottsdale at 34,000 is the no deductible, correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct. And that's at the 2 million per occurrence, 5 million in the aggregate level.
So to save the $9,000, we're going to be setting up a deductible insurance fund, correct? Is that what you're saying?
of
Correct.
less than half of that amount.
I know. I'm going to default to Sue's judgment. I'll be voting no on the motion.
Okay. Any further discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
No.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 4 yes, 1 no.
Thank you.
We'll get coverage back on that.
And thank you both for coming down to help us clarify this and help us make this decision.
Well, thank you. You
Thank
guys
you.
are a joy to work with.
Well, we appreciate the good service at the last moment, so I know it interrupted your day, but thank you both.
Thank you.
We adjourn.
See what it is next year.
Second.
Then moved and seconded that we adjourn. Call the roll.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
We'll adjourn the regular county board meeting and open the Lancaster County Board of Equalization meeting for Tuesday, September 23rd. Mr. Clerk, will you begin the agenda, please?
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk's staff. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Also in attendance this morning is Scott Gaines from the County Assessor's Office. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approve of the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, September 16th, 2014.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion, are there additions or corrections? Call the roll, please.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Abstain?
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 4 yes, 1 abstention. Number 2 are additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls.
Move approval of the additions and deductions.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 3 is motor vehicle tax exemption applications for Gentle Shepherd Baptist Church, Priestley Fraternity of St. Peter, the Bridge Behavioral Health, Vital Services, Women in Community Service.
Move approval of the exemption applications.
Second?
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Amundson,
Yes.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 4 is notice of taxable status for the Board of Regents of the University of Nebraska.
Good morning, Scott Gaines, Deputy Assessor, Register Deeds, recommending that we notify the university this property will remain taxable. They just acquired it recently. The seller of the property is going to continue to live in it through the end of this year. Sometime early next year, the university will take possession and demolish the house and use it for parking. But for the rest of this year, it'll remain taxable as used as a private residence.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. We have a motion.
Recommendation of the assessor's office. I move we change the taxable status.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Smoyer,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is number 5, public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to county business not on the agenda may do so at this time.
Does anyone in the audience wish to make public comment? Mr. Fall? No. Okay. Mr. Hoppy? We're glad to have you with us. If not, will you proceed to the next item, Mr. Clerk?
Next is number 6, adjournment.
I
Move
we
adjourn.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Shore,
Yes.
Raybold, Amundson, Smoyer,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
We stand adjourned. Thank you for your time and attention.